అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. నమో
నమస్కారం.
నమః. హరి ఓం. Today is another good day that we are going to have a lecture from our speaker, P.S. Murthy garu. We'll start the session with Vande Mataram and chanting Prarthana by Jayashree garu. Jayashree garu, please.
నమస్కారం సార్. వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం సుజలాం సుఫలాం మలయజ శీతలాం సస్య శ్యామలా మాతరం వందే మాతరం శుభ్రజోత్స్నా పులకితయా సవిత సుహాసిని సుమధుర భాషిణి సుఖదా మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం. One minute meditation. Close your eyes, sit straight. Three times Omkaram. Om. Om. Om Gananam Ganapatikum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannotibhi Siddhasadanam. Om Shri Mahaganathipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinamavitriyavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva gate gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guru paramam shishurasmi guru matirasti guru mam pahi guru. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagreepamupasmahe shruti smriti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavat pada shankaram loka shankaram. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। ధన్యవాదాలు.
ధన్యవాదములండి జయశ్రీ గారు. Now, going forward, I will introduce briefly P.S. Murthy garu. He is well known to us, but for those people who are new today, the participants, I want to give them a small brief. P.S. Murthy garu served in Government of Andhra Pradesh as Joint Secretary in IT and Communication Department from 2005 to 2012 and extended his services by 4 years. And he visited Dubai, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Nepal, Japan, USA, UK, and most of the states in India for bringing the investments in IT sector and presence of IT companies. And he is responsible for developing our high-tech city during Chandrababu Naidu's time. And most of the effort is through him only. And he is MCOM, MBA, PG Diploma in Computer Applications. He is a gold medalist in astrology, Jyotisha Sharada, and silver medalist in palmistry. So without taking more time, I request P.S. Murthy garu to start the webinar, please.
Dhanyavad Mahodaya Kallal garu. Thank you very much. I'm a small and humble person, so thanks for your profile. It's not high profile. I'm only a simple public servant. So more than that, after my retirement, I had little inclination to keep into the Sanaatana Dharma aspects. So as part of it, I have now joined this group. Thanks for Kallal Babu garu and Prabhakar Rao garu, President of VSS, and all our colleagues and friends, in encouraging me to take up these webinars like this. Previously, I had 2 webinars connected astrology to Ayurveda, connecting astrology to Ayurveda. And then another webinar is on connecting astrology to Vastu. So what are the parameters that are more visible in respect of both astrology and Vastu, how they can be integrated and interrelated upon. So now today, I wanted to see from Sanaatana Dharma perspective. So this is my topic of webinar today. So Jyotisha as part of Sanaatana Dharma, our Hindu Dharma. So what it holds upon, how it is binded by the principles of Sanatana Dharma, and what are the significations or planetary aspects that controls the Dharma Kanda or Dharma Igna, Gnana Kanda or Gnana. So we have two things. So before going in detail, I will start with a small prayer. So please permit me to share the screen. So I'm sharing the screen. So this is today's webinar. So I thank the organizers of VSS, Prabhakar Rao Garu, Kalal Babu, Chitbabu Garu, and all others, to kindly allowing me to take this seminar. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmala Spatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrevam Upasmehe Sadasiva Samarambham Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So with this, I start by praying Lord Ganesha to remove all the obstacles in all our lives. So now, as I was trying to understand, the knowledge is transmitted from ages, from our sages, rishis, munis, saints, seers, to the generations in two modes. One is Shruti, that is by just listening, and you just listen and then you transmit it to the next Guru Parampara or Sishya Parampara, whatever it is. And then in this case, Shruti is Aporshayam, nobody told. It has come from the Paramashiva, Lord Parameshwara, in the form of Damarika or Omkaram, whatever we say. So, and they are, through Shruti we got these Vedas, Vedangas, Vedanta, Upanishad, and all. And Smriti is what is remembered or memorized or meditized. So this meditizing part started from Vedavyasa Maharshi, telling to Lord Ganesha, and Lord Ganesha meditating like from all these Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Dharma Shastras, all those things they have come. Smritis, Manusmriti, Parasara Smriti, Yagnavalka Smriti, Puranas, all these things they have come. So Vedas are our primary source of knowledge, both in regard to leading a happy and comfortable life, and as well as spiritual pursuit. So during our way of living, we need to follow certain principles and rules in the society. So that is also taught through Vedas, and Veda Purabhaga is known as Karma Kanda, dealing with religious life, and Veda Antabhaga, Vedanta Bhaga is called Gnanakanda, deals with spiritual life. So one need to follow either Karma Kanda, because when you pass through the life, when the life pass through the different cycles, right from Bali, Yavana, Kaumara, Vardhakya, Vanaprastha, Vardhakya, Dashas, when it pass through, so first 3-4 Dashas you have to do the Yagna Kanda, where you do the rituals for the healthy and well-being of your family, yourself first, your family next, and then for the society and for the overall human being. And then after you reach the Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, you started going into the spiritual life. Then you go into the Gnanakanda, where you will do the all sadhanas, and you know that 3 sadhana prakriya is there, Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, all those things. So by that you will attain the moksha. So what is that purpose of human life? So the purpose of human life is to minimize bad fortune, but our karmas or actions which you do in your life during your tenure here given by the God, in order to enjoy better fortune in this life, as well as to achieve a better rebirth in the next birth. So what are those 4 purusharthas? What are the 4 goals of human life? Moksha. That is what given in Sanaatana Dharma. Moksha should be our first primary aim. Moksha, then Dharma, then Kama, and then Ardha. This is the 4 goals given in direction. But normally we say Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Chaturveda Phalapurushartha. That is how we say. But for us, the ultimate aim should be, the priority, top priority should be the attaining moksha. So, for doing moksha, what you should do? You should follow a dharmic way. For following the dharmic way, you have to do some action. How do you do action? You action if you have a desire, that is nothing but kamya. And how do you fulfill your desire? By means of artha. So these are four intertwined. And dharma is what? Right way of living, duties, laws, following laws. Dharma comes from our Sanaatana Dharma because we have our own Dharma. Even the Matsyanaya, fishes have their own Dharma. Every creature, every human being has its own Dharma. So like that, human beings, we have our own Dharma that is defined in our Sanatana Dharma. Artha. Artha is for security of having material comforts. Kama, desires and pleasures and love, affection, all those things. Karma, to either to get the Artha or to fulfill your desires, you have to perform some action. And action is based on fate and consequences. So action is some of those actions, good or bad, which you do through all our lives. Moksha is the ultimate goal, as I said, attaining liberation through ultimate release from the cycle of birth, rebirth altogether after getting rid of all accumulated karmas by realizing ultimate unity between oneself and reality, that is Brahman, through detachment and doing one's own duty. So this is more important. So you should do the duty without any fear or favor, by detachment, having no connection to anything, and do the duty rightfully. So the origin of Sanatana Dharma, how it has come. So origin of Dharma is from Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is emanated from Vedas. They are derived from the ancient Indo-Aryan culture as an oral tradition. That is what I said earlier, by Shruti, and principles of Sanatana Dharma transmitted through the Vedas since the 2nd millennium BCE. We don't know. That was the guess date. So that was passed down through the generations before being written in Vedic Sanskrit between 1500 to 5000 BCE. The phrase Sanatana Dharma found in Manusmriti and in Bhagavad Gita, Purana, and all those things. So the timings are also mentioned here. So Sanatana Dharma is mentioned right from Manusmriti onwards. So Sanatana Dharma is what? It is eternal Dharma or eternal order. It's a religious duty. Adharma is what is prohibited from Dharma. That is Nishiddha Dharma, not prescribed. So Dharma is both for our material and well-being. If an action is dharmic, it leads to sukha. If an action is dharmic, it leads to sukha, svarga, chitta suddhi. If not, we get dukha, naraka, chitta, bhranti. So we know this also, all these three factors, you know what? Sukha, chitta suddhi, and then dukkha, then chitta bhranti. We will discuss. This will come again in astrology. So that's why I am trying to relate our Sanatana Dharma to astrological part. Today, that is, I wanted to share my knowledge in this regard. So Sanatana Dharma is therefore duties performed according to one spiritual constitutional identity, that is as Atma, what we see, what we perceive. So basing on that, our Sanatana Dharma, our duties are prescribed for everyone. So what are those general duties? General duties include purity, virtues such as honesty, refraining from injuring living beings, purity, goodwill, mercy, patience, forbearance, self-restraint, generosity, and asceticism. This we will go in detail in the next 3-4 slides. So Sanatana Dharma, as we said, as we seen earlier, it came from Manusmriti, universal to all, irrespective of time, place, gender, nationality. What is that Sanatana Dharma? Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya. Asteya means not stealing. Not taking anybody's wealth discreetly or by theft. So Saucha means purity. Nigraha, control your senses. Sama, follow the equanimity. Dama, Dana, Achara, And there are in acharas, dana and acharas, you have Shodasa Samskaras. I'm not going into much detail into Shodasa Samskaras. That is well dealt in the Jyotisha part, also in Vedangas, it is mentioned. So, and then Vyavaharas. What is Vyavahara? How do you behave? How do you do business? How do you interact with the society? So, that external world, how do you connect with the external world? That is either legally, jurisprudence, and then if you do some mistake, how to try to that is to paschatapa prayaschitta. So even this is there in other religions also. In Christianity they go to that box, confession box. So we have other way of doing prashchitta. So let us not go into those religions. We are now religion free here. We are trying to focus on our dharma. So Vishesha Dharma. So there are two types of dharma, Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. Then Nishiddha Dharma. Nishiddha is which can't do. So Vishesha Dharma is specific to individuals. So Samanya Dharma is universal to all. Everybody, every human being, living human being. Vishesha Dharma is for specific individuals. What I said earlier, the various cycles of life, Vanaprastha Dharma. It is for Vanaprasthas, those who have to perform those duties according to one's material, conditional, natural, specific to individual at that particular point of time. And doing one's own duty according to his or her class or varna. So this is another. So see, if a warrior, a fighter, a kshatriya, a raja injures during fighting, it is not a mistake. It is a Vishesha Dharma. And that Dharma is allowed for that raja, for that kshatriya varna. Likewise, brahmacharya, a Brahmin boy, or those who follow brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is followed by all varnas. It is not only Brahmins. So, for those who study, they do brahmacharya. Say some 12 years, 8 years, whatever it is. So in brahmacharya, there are certain niyamas, certain regulations, rules. And Gruhastha has certain duties. So those duties are prescribed in Vishesha Dharma as per Manusmriti. Then Nishiddha Dharma. Somebody should not, all of us should not do something which is harmful to others. Don't hit a dog. So such type of Nishiddha Dharmas, they are also prescribed in Manusmriti. So what are the characteristics of this Dharma? The characteristics of this Dharma are, Mahabharata Santi Parva says, one is Prabhava. Prabhava is making grown, nurturing, Vruddhi. So that is why the first year in our calendar is Prabhava, Vibhava, Sukla, Pramoduta. So like that 60 years are there in our calendar. So Prabhava is the first which starts, which gives the nourishing, which makes the cycle to move on. So then Dharana. So Dharana is that supporting. Dharinchu. Dharana means Dharinchu. Hold it. So by holding it, by sustaining, by supporting, you are bringing together oneness. That you are doing by securing their dharana. And then ahimsa. Ahimsa is that securing all living beings freedom from violence. Ahimsa. Therefore, whatever has the characteristic of not doing violence is dharma. Then nyaya. Nyaya is justice. Justice is that providing all living beings and securing for all beings freedom from violence. So that is justice. If somebody hurts somebody, then he should have some justice, no? Unnecessarily one is being beaten. Why? A husband beats his wife. So some justice should be there. So whatever beginning in justice, that alone called is dharma. So that protecting the rights of individual through some mechanism is the nyaya. Adroha. Adroha is not to be treacherous and malicious. That means don't be rude to anybody. Don't have malified intentions with any others. So adroha is reverse. Droha is reverse to that. Okay. So manasa. Whatever you do with full heart. then it fructifies. If you do half-heartedly, unwillingly, or suspiciously, or wavering mind, so then it won't fulfill, the work will not be done in proper way. So conversely, adharma is whatever has the characteristic of depriving, starving, diminishing, separating, uprooting, hurting, doing violence, injustice or anyaya, droha, or doing without full willingness and involvement, unjust, oppressive, debasing, degrading. All these things are the adharma or anachara. The achara means which can be followed. Anachara means which cannot be followed. So, characteristics of dharma. And then, one on what constitutes doing good for all well-being, Mahabharata says that what he does not find agreeable when done by thee unto him, that he should not undo for others. When somebody does something to me, I feel it is unjust. So let me not do that to others. And somebody feels that whatever is being done to him is not good, we should not do to him that. Similarly, whatever is not agreeable that he should not unto others. So this is in brief dharma. All else is only selfishness. So then now we have seen dharma. So dharma is for what? For doing something, for action. Action is nothing but karma. Then what is karma? If karma is doing one's own duty through dharma acharana, then what is karma? Karma is action of doing, is a system where beneficial effects are derived from the past beneficial actions and harmful effects from past harmful actions. A system of actions and reaction, as simple as that. So this is like our Newton's third law. For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So a number of factors come into play while you're doing your karma. For the result, you know, our efforts, destiny, the will of God, the efforts of others, that means external environment, the cumulative karmas of the people involved, not only you. For example, if some accident happens, that accident has not happened because you are traveling in a train. Some accident happens. That accident has not happened because of you. Maybe somebody because of the bad karma. His karma has intertwined all others also. So the place, situation, and luck, all these things play in our getting the results of the karma. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 21, it is said, Kshina punya marchalokam vishanti. So when you go up, after you leave this body, when the stock of your punya, whatever good actions you does, whatever good phala you got, that when once it exhausted, you are thrown back, returned to earthly plane. So punarapi jananam, punarapi mananam, punarapi janani jatare sayanam. So karmas, therefore, we have to enjoy it or suffered here itself. They do not get liquidated. Otherwise, unless all karmas are liquidated, one cannot get moksha. This is the Vedanta part. Okay, so what karmas we have? When we talk of Vedanta, when we do the karmas, actions, you got three types of karmas. Either from previous birth or during this birth, carried on to next birth. So they are Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Agami karma. So, Sanchita karma or accumulated karma, these are the karmas pertaining to actions that are still to be enjoyed by the individual. Some of one's past karmas of all previous lives. These are like seeds yet to be sprouted. Because I am trying to connect karma theory and dharma theory, Sanaatana dharma theory with Jyotisha. So that is why I brought the karma portion also into this. So then prarabdha karma or operative karmas inherited from previous birth of previous lives being enjoyed at present life, connected with fate or destiny, and prarabdha karma enables one to decide, make his own future. And it can be divided into three karmas. What are they? Drida karma, adrida karma, drida adrida karma. Because why this further bifurcation? Drida karma is our good or bad results. That's okay. Karma is good or bad results. Okay. Which can be, which are unaltered. You cannot alter as destiny prevails. So destiny is very important in Jyotisha also. What told in Sanaatana Dharma about karmas, in Vedas, in our Vedantas, that destiny has a connectivity in Jyotisha. So destiny or fate, whatever you call. So Dhrida karma cannot be changed. Adhrida karma, one can exercise his free will while performing Adhrida karma. That means by using your free will, your intelligence, your buddhi, your manaha, indriya nigraha, by controlling all these things and doing the Sanaatana Dharma as per your Samanya Dharma or Vishesha Dharma and not doing the Nishiddha Dharma, then you can to certain extent change your Adhrida karma. Drida Adrida karma means it is mixed, where destiny and free will both will prevail. That can be to certain extent, can be changed or avoided by remedial measures, shantis, prayaschitta, etc. If there is some problem in your Jataka Kundali or whatever it is, then by doing some Shanti, Japas or Tarpanas or whatever it is, you can change it to a little extent, not fully. So this is prarabdha karma. Agami karma is the karmas which goes to your piti and then you did with this casual body and that does not fructify in this present life to be carried over to next birth as your debit or credit. So again, karmas as per Vedanta, Sanchita karmas have already been done. There is nothing can do about them during this birth. You have to take them forward. Under them, prarabdha karma, whether it is good or bad, you have to, yahan hi bhokna hai. You have to enjoy here itself, whether good or bad. Prarabdha karmas are the karmas where one is inclined to perform in this life and it constitutes free will portion also. Prarabdha karma to certain extent, it can be minimized while doing prarabdha karma, one is given chance to guide his own destiny. The effects of bad karma may be mitigated by living virtuously, performing good deeds such as helping others, worshipping God, etc. You can mitigate them to certain extent. So Dhrida karma I have already discussed, but Dhrida karma you cannot change, as I said. It is Isvara Anugraham based on Isvara Krupa, Isvara Kataksham and all. So because this karma cannot function independently on its own. That is why that Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 47 is said, whatever karma you do, karmanye vyadhikaraste ma phalesh kadachanaha. So whatever karma you do simply. Do your duty, do your karma as per dharma, but do not concern yourself with the results. The results you leave it to me, to the destiny, to the free will, or to the situation, to the time, to the luck of others, your luck, all those things. So, all this we have discussed, Adrita karma, and then see what is this fate and free will. I have been constantly telling fate, free will. So, as per astrology, fate and destiny is a power which predetermines your future events in an organized fashion. So, fate is that which decides your predetermines your future events. Okay. So, and then and astrology, through astrology, we can visualize strokes of fate. That means what fate is going to happen, whether you are going to get an accident, whether you are going to married, if so, when you are going to marry, profession, which type of profession you are going to get. We say, if son is 10th house, he will be a government bureaucrat. So, like that, by certain basic things, we can visualize the fate. And then this area of circle is the free will. Sorry, area of circle is the destiny. Whose, sorry, okay, area of circle is the destiny where a horse, because if you say this is the kshetra and you peg a horse with a rope and in that, and then it moves freely, So this is the area of circle where it can move freely, but subject to the pits and rope, the length of the rope. So this is the where limitation of destiny of horse. This is the limitation of destiny horse. So the horse can peg, graze, or whatever she can do depending on this rope, and by what this is the rope is nothing but free will within which horse carefully graze to maximum strength, avoiding pits. So pits are good fortunes or misfortunes. So peg you cannot change. Peg is that fate which you cannot change. That is what Dhrida Karma, what we talk of. Okay, so this is pictorially, this is how the Dhrida, Adrida, Dhrida, Adrida karmas have been represented. And then, so we are talking of astrology. If one cannot change the future, what is the use of knowing future ending? So that is where the astrology plays a proper role, an appropriate role. And if one changes in the future as per his will, there is no necessity for prediction. So that means by knowing your future, you change your future using your free will within the limitations or ambit of your dharma and karma. Okay, an average person has more belief in his power and ability to shape the destiny through his own efforts. Yes, this everybody will agree. Correct. For example, you take astrological chart. If moon is afflicted by Mars in some house, then he will be very angry person. He gets angry very fast. That is funda, basic funda of an astrologer. He will firstly say, "Meeku chaala kopistandi meeru. You are very aggressive andi." So why? Because he said moon is afflicted and with Mars. So if that is the case, then no one, even otherwise also, without seeing the horoscope also, you can say, "Are we chaala kopisti?" And no one had control over his angers. And when once it enters his head, no control, he bursts out. But while bursting out, by using your free will, you can control your anger to certain extent. So that tana kopame tana setruvu, tana sayantame tanaku raksha అని మనకి ఎలా అయితే ఉన్నదో, సో అలా నువ్వు కనుక కంట్రోల్ చేసుకోగలిగితే, ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ కంట్రోల్ యువర్ యాంగర్ by your free will, to certain extent you can damage, to certain extent you can reduce the damage to certain extent, so now what is the purpose of telling this? We do not control over stimulus. Getting angry we cannot control on the stimulus. Stimulus is anger here, but we can control over our response. That is our behavior. So in psychological theory also, if you control your stimulus, you can control your anger. Hence, alternative responses need to be worked out as against automatic response. So that is why somebody count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to control anger. So that is automatic, getting automatic response. Then one would be able to control or deal successfully with anger. Right? This is what the other day Pattavirams are also told in one of the webinars. I thought, let me mention here. So now we are slowly coming to astrology. So astrology makes it possible to know past and future events by considering the position of Lagna and planets at birth. So useful for planning, timing of events, education, career, profession, marriage, etc. So what for astrology? Astrology is useful for planning your life, timing of events, various events, like from the Shodasa Samskaras are done, that is done as per the events, except Antyeshti. Antyeshti is not in our hands. Even birth also, some birth now is somebody's hands. Cesarean you do and get the baby first. So birth is controlled. but not Antyeshti. Antyeshti is not controlled. It is not in our hands. You can only control through some period, not totally. So one day somebody has to go. So education, career, profession, marriage, all these events, one after the other, Soda Samskaras happens now. So all these things you can timing, you can plan it, and then it enriches life by enabling to change with time depending on past, present, and future. And then analyze the astrology helps us to analyze the karmic influences, challenges, why certain events have happened in past. Basing on the happening of those past events, how we can reshape our present behavior, and how we can try to mold to meet the future expectations. So yeah, this is what some WhatsApp message has come today. So I took this from that WhatsApp message. This is one Kala Devi Amal. Kala Devi Amal, Kala Devi Amavaru. She is in Tamil Nadu, Madurai district, near Kallupatti village, Gopalapuram. Near Gopalapuram, Silparpatti, that is the village where this Kala Devi is there. She is called as Samaya Chakram Nadipe Amma. So she controls the time, Samayam, and she runs the time. So interestingly, here morning, the daytime, the temple is not open. Temple is open only at night time. And they believe that, the devotees believe that. So since she has the control over time and she can change the time, if we visit her, all our chintas gets cleared, and we get a good time. So with that belief, people go there. And interestingly, you can see in this, I don't know whether it is visible or not, there are 12 signs of Rasi. This is the Rasi, 12 signs of Rasi. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 12 signs of Rasi. And then inner circle, you have 27 nakshatras, stars. And then most inner circle, you have the Navagrahas. So this is there. We don't know at least I don't know the significance of that behind Amma's Kavacham. The significance is that Amma has Swayambhu like that. So people believe that if she is penanced for just 11 seconds, only 11 seconds if you penance her, by standing before her, all your bad time go away and good time happens. And especially on the day of Amavasya, and tomorrow, day after is Purnami. On Purnami day, there will be special pujas there. So this is what I have seen in the WhatsApp message somebody sent me today. So I thought I will share this. So see, what I am trying to tell is there, our Vedas, Vedanta, Sanaatana Dharma has already scriptured the Jataka Chakra or Kundali or the Jyotisha Pramana in somewhere or the other. So these are all the Pramanas that have been given to us. So these are our scriptures. So Shruti, Smruti we have discussed. So Vedas and all we know. And then Dharma Shastras we know. Manusmriti, Yagnaval Smriti and all those things. Then Puranas we know. All those Puranas. Then Darshanas we know. Vedanta Darshana, Sankhya Darshana, Yoga Darshana, all those things. And then Vedanga. There are 6 Vedangas. So in Vedangas, the Siksha, Kalpa, Nirukta, Jyotisha, and Chandasa, and Vyakarana, these are the Vedangas. Veda Purushas, Angas, it's called Vedangas. And then we have Upavedas, where Yajurveda, Dhanurveda, Atharvana Veda, Ayurveda, all these Vastu Veda, all these Vedas are here. And then we have Agamas. Again, in Jyotisha, we have seen. So Jyotisha, we have the branches of, it is called Skandatraya. We have Siddhanta, Samhita, Hora, Ganita, Sekino, and Prashna. And then under Samhita, we have again again Anga Vidya, Pada Vidya, Mukha Vidya, Hastareka. So these are the basic branches. And then this is how the Jyotish Shastra has emanated from our Vedas, Vedangas. So this is what from our Mandukya Upanishad. See, there is a shloka 1.1.4. Tasmai Sahovacha De Vidyehe Veditavyehe Itiha Sa Yad Brahma Vidyo Vadanti Paracheva Aparacha. That sloka says like that. And second sloka, both are connected sloka. So that's why I put together Tatra Apara Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Dharma Siksha, Kalpo, Vyakarana, Niruktam, Chando, Jyotisham, Iti Atap Parayaya, Tad Aksharam Adigamyate. So the first sloka talks about the Brahma has declared there is two kinds of knowledge to be acquired by the seekers or by the knowers, and they are called lower Aparavidya, higher Paravidya. And then next mantra says that of this lower one consists of Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Dharma, Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotisham, Astronomy. But the Aparavidya is that Brahma Vidya, and that is the Upanishad. But the higher one is that through which imperishable is attained, and through Upanishad, which attains and realizes the Parabrahma, that is our Atma itself, known as Paravidya. So this is how this our Vidyas, all the knowledge has come down through this mantra. This is mentioned in the Upanishad. So then Veda Purusha Anga, I said. So in Veda Purusha Anga, so this is how it is defined in Palaniya Siksha 41-42. Chanda Padoh tu Vedasya Hastau Kalpostada Patayate Jyotisha Mayan Chakshuhu Niruktaha Srotraha Muchyate Siksha Granaha tu Vedasya Mukaha Vyakarana Smrutam Tasmat Gyamya Dhitevaha Brahma Loka Mahiyate. So that means those who study all these things, those do this Veda Dhyayanam, they get the Brahma Loka. Veda as Purusha has 6 limbs, has 6 Vedangas. Chanda are his 2 feet, Kalpa are his 2 arms, Jyotisha are his eyes. So for astrology, that much importance is given. For astrology, the importance given is it is shown as eyes. These are the eyes of the Veda Purusha. And Nirukta are ears, Siksha is nose, Vyakarana is mouth. So just for your information, Chandas is Edakshara Parabrahmam, Edakshara Pariman the Chandaha, defined by Katyan. He has defined like that. So poetic meter connected with the Vedas, how various syllables are grouped, how the syllables are pronounced, analyze the number of syllables per verse and its pattern with the verses, and which gives a rhythm to the mantra. So that is Chandas part. Kalpa are the rituals, what we do. Yajna, yagas, then your Sandhyavandanam, all those things. They are all rituals. Jyotisha is the astrology or astronomy, dealing with the astronomy, and Nirukta is etymology, that is history of a word or a phrase. And then it explains the reason why a particular word has been used at particular place. That word has very important, syllable has very importance in Sanskrit. So, Siksha lays down the rules of phonetic, sound, syllables, pronunciation, accent, and then Varna, Swara, Mantra, Bala, Sama, Sanaatana, utterance of syllables. This is all discussed in Siksha. And then Vyakaranam is grammar, which helps to understand the nature of Vedic knowledge by dealing with various elements such as Nama, Upasarga, formation of word, and prescribe the rules for their correct use. So these are the 6 parts of Vedanta. So Jyotisha is knowledge was imparted directly. How Jyotisha has emanated, now we are trying to understand how it has come from Sanaatana Dharma. Where from it has come? What is the age of it? How old it is? How old is Jyotisha is? Astrology is. So somebody say, I don't believe in astrology, but it has some pramana. So that we should believe. So Jyotish But if we believe Sanaatana Dharma, we need to believe Jyotisha also. So Jyotish knowledge was imparted directly by Lord Brahma Pitamaha, our Parama Brahma, Parama Pitamaha, Parabrahma, from him to Rishi Narada. And from Narada it has passed on to sage Shaunaka, from Shaunaka to Parashar, Parashar to Maitreya, and from Maitreya slowly it has come to common man. So these are 6 branches of Vedic astrology. I said one is Gola, that is positional astronomy, Ganita, mathematical diagnostical tools for analyzing the results of Gola. Then Jataka, Jataka is natal, and Prashna, Sastra, question based upon time, and then Prashna, then answering specific question based upon time, correct? So Muhurta, Muhurta is selecting auspicious time, and Nimukta is Sekuna Shastra, dealing with omens and portents. So what is astrology? Astrology is a science of correlation of astronomical facts with terrestrial events. Astrology or Jyotisha means that study of heavenly bodies. What are the heavenly bodies? Stars, sun, moon, planets, and their influences on human life. How do they affect? And then astrology is systems, traditions, and beliefs where knowledge of positions of celestial bodies for understanding, interpreting, and organizing information about human personality, worldly affairs, etc. So it is mentioned in Brahmanas and Aranyakas about the astronomical and astrological subjects. And then whenever a yajna has to be performed, they used to look at, observe the planets like sun and moon, and basing on that moon movement or sun movement, they used to decide the dates. Because if rain is coming, then one cannot do yajna. Night time one cannot do yajna, so that is why they have to observe the sun and moon. So like that the astrology has come into light. Then how old is astrology? From our past, this universe is supposed to came into existence about 15 billion years ago. This universe, there are so many universes, so many celestial bodies, so many Milky Ways. But the universe which we are living in has come maybe 15 billion years ago, and whatnot, we don't know exactly. So Vedic period started 30,000 years before Christ. Before Common Era, before Christ, 30,000 years ago it started. Up to 8,300 BC, Vedas and Vedangas have originated. That means 8,300 means up to Bhagavata, Ramayana, maybe that till that period. Then that is before Ramayana and Bharata. Puranic period is called 8,300 BC to 3,000 BC. That is Ramayana, Mahabharata period. During that time, 18 Parvartakas or prophets, Siddhantas, they developed Siddhantas, 18 rishis. The Siddhantas are called Surya, Pitamaha, Vasishta, Atri, Parashara, Kasyapa, Narada, Gargeya, Marichi, Manu, Angira, Lomesha, Polasha, Chayana, Vyasa, Yan, Bhrigu, Shaunak. So they all have developed Siddhantas. And astrology in the Indian subcontinent dates back to the period of Indus Valley civilization during 3rd millennium BCE, when it was used to create the calendars at that time itself. And Amarakosham was built very long back. And then Vedanta Jyotisha period, earlier astronomical text available as Vedanta Jyotisham, it is available. The text is a part of our Vedic literature. So the Jyotisha Shastra period, we can take it as first Parashara period, where Parashara Maharshi is the father of astrology and composed Bruhat Parashara Hora Shastra. It is very famously known as BPHS, Bruhat Parashara Hora Shastra. It is a compendium of all the parts of the this Vedanga, of all the parts of Jyotisha, whether Gola, Ganita, Khagola, whatever you call it. So, and it is followed by the Maharshis like Gemini Paddhati, Garga Samhita, Satyacharya, Nadi astrology, all these Maharshis have brought them. And then medieval period, during medieval period, very great work was done by the Aryabhatta. So Aryabhatta was the first mathematician we all know. He expounded the zero theory, Sunya Siddhanta. So the concept of zero was found, and what we study now, Pascal's triangle, is invented by him. and then that magic sphere, binomial coefficients, Ainamsa, all these things are already there. So you can see how old we are, how ancient we are. Then came Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta composed Aryabhattiyam, one of the early texts available used in astrology, and also called as Surya Siddhanta. Then Varahamihira, very famous person, he's from Ujjain, he's a great astrologer, and he used to the positions of the stars, sun, moon, and planets, and used to predict. Varahamihira has constructed a Meru Stamba and discovered that planets and moons are lustrous due to the sunlight, but not because of their own light. So they are not Swayam Prakasikas. They are being shined by the sun's light because of sunlight. That is first. He is the first person to find out. And Earth was spherical. Now there's so many theories are coming. Earth is not round. Earth is spherical. Even he himself told at that point. And then he wrote certain, Varahamihira wrote certain Jyotisha sections of Jyotisha. Then Kalyanavarma, Bhaskaracharya, Mantreshwar, Paladipika, he wrote Paladipika, Nilakanta from Maharashtra, Tajika, Varsaphala, he wrote Varsaphala system, annual calendar he developed. Then Mahadev Patnaik, Jataka Tattva, all those things they are there in the medieval period. Then coming to modern period, 18th century till now, the Ganesh Devigna, Jataka he wrote. B. Surya Narayana Rao, he is a very famous, renowned person in astrology. And Pandit Mahesh, he's from Kashmir. And then Dr. B.V. Raman, he is the founder of our Indian Council of Astrological Sciences. And there are so many people, there are so many developments have happened subsequently. So then what about the astronomy or astrology in West? So Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrians, Greeks, all these have some astrological systems or pranamas. They first documented the record of a systematic astronomical observations dating back to period around 1000 BC from Mesopotamia and other southern part present today of Iraq. Astronomers have built up knowledge to the celestial body. So why I am mentioning is you can know how old we are, how ancient we are, how our Sanaatana Dharma is ancient. So then we know it was much later that Greek astronomers first attempted to use the astronomy to the cosmetic scales, and then cosmic scales, and then Greek, Egypt, Alexandria, all they have developed. Copernicus published his first theory on heliocentric system. See, whether it is heliocentric or earth-centric or sun-centric, whatever it is. So, sun is the center of the universe. That is what the Copernicus has found. So, Galileo invented telescope. This is 1650 only. So, till telescope came, there is no scientific instrument to measure or to observe. But our Varahamihira observed long back. So, and atom theory found only in 19th century in our Vimana Sastra and all those things. It was discussed in the atom theory was discussed. CSR Prabhu sir was telling us in various webinars and in CCSD courses also. So, and then atom theory was found only in the beginning of 19th century. NASA, when it is set up, it's only in 1950. Before that, you mean to say that astrology, astronomy is not there? No. So, and how scientific is Jyotish? So, it correlates with 108 number, 108 number is pranama for us as well as for Western people. Distance between Earth and Sun, 108 times of Sun's diameter. Earth and Moon, again, 108 times of Moon diameter. Distance of Sun, 108 of Earth diameter. So, see how it is correlating. And then Ayurveda, there are 108 marmasthanas, sensitive points, which can cure or can destroy our body. Atomic weight of silver. Silver means moon. It is 108 again. So, planets and houses. In astrology, we have 12 houses, 9 planets. So, 12 into 9, 108. And Japan, they ring 108 bells before entering into the new year. Buddhism, they have 108 Buddhas for good luck. It is carved on a walnut. Chakra, Sri Chakra has 54 points. Prakriti and Purusha, both put together, it is 108. So similarly, finally, I think Prabhakar Rao Garu sir will agree with me that Sanskrit has 54 letters, alphabets in Sanskrit alphabet. Each has masculine and feminine. They are called Shiva and Shakti. So it comes to 108. So Jyotisha, why it is called eye of Veda Purusha? Mere touch cannot identify color. So if you touch, you can't identify color. If you smell, you can't see. So if you have eyes, then only you can see. You can visualize. So eyes are necessary to distinguish. You distinguish the color or distinguish the smell or distinguish the distance, whatever it is. So that is why even if a planet is sighted today, how do we know unless we see its effects based on its location and how it is going to affect us? So that is why Jyotisha is a eyes of Veda Purusha. And Jyotish means light, light on the throwing light on the subject. So astrology, I said earlier, it has 3 branches. It is called Skandatraya. They are Siddhanta, Samhita, and Hora. Siddhanta deals with astronomy, that is, deals with planetary motion and astronomical aspects. And there are so many schools that we have discussed already. Surya, Romukha, Polasha. Astrology uses data provided by astronomers to prepare ephemeris, Panchanga, Lagna, etc. Hora is about native. So there are 3 branches clearly. If astronomy is there, then we have native astrology also. Natal astrology or native astrology or person's astrology. This hora means it deals with hora, night and day, deals with activity of human being, what we do from since morning to night, and after night what we do. After night what we do 3 avasthas: Swapna, Jagrata, Sushupta avastha. So that is also we are doing knowingly or unknowingly. So how that affects a human mind or human body or human living, and that we can know by casting a chart called horoscope. If we have a place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth, the past, present, and future events can be predicted. So Samhita is the mundane astrology. This deals with about planetary motions and their influence on mundane, materiological aspects, worldly affairs, political changes. So this talks about the universe, countries. So we have clear 3 branches. And then this is called Kalapurusha of the Kala Chakra. So Kalapurusha, the body parts of the Kalapurusha has assigned to 12 rasis, right from head, Mesha, to feet, Meena Rasi. So these are the 12 rasis, and each Rasi is headed by 1 planet or the other. We have 9 planets, as I said. Out of 9, 2 are the shadow planets, Rahu and Ketu. So the Aries or Scorpio, it is called. Mars is the Lord for that. Taurus or Libra, it is Venus. Gemini, Virgo, Mercury. Cancer, Moon. Leo, Sun. Sagittarius, Jupiter. Pisces, Jupiter again. So Jupiter rules 2 signs. Venus rules 2 signs. Mercury rules 2 signs. Saturn rules 2 signs. Whereas Sun, Moon rules only 1 sign. So this is how the Jataka is embossed upon. The chart is natal chart. First layer has fixed objects, 27 stars, nakshatras, as we have seen in that Amal's Vigraha at the back. So 27 stars, they are the first layer. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrgashira, Ardra, all these nakshatras. And then second layer are 12 signs. These are the zodiac signs, what we have discussed. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all these things. And then third layer, we have the 9 planets, which moves and they give the motion. So Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. So what are the astrological tools to predict one's destiny or one's karma, one's dharma? Base chart, Lagna, Moon Rasi, significations of 12 Rasis and signs, that is from Aries to Pisces. And then 12 Bhavas, So each sign has one bhava, one tattva. So what does bhavas represents? 12 bhavas, tanu bhava to vyaya bhava. So tanu is self, soul, about us, about atma, about our physique, about our body. And then to vyaya, expenditure, it's also called moksha sthana. And then influencing planets are planets posited in lagna, lagna lord, the sign in which lagna lord is posited, moon and all. Then 9 planets, they are also influenced by their position, aspect, and conjunction. Conjunction is together, joining together with some other planet. If it joins with a good planet, it gives good results. If it joins with a bad planet, that particular planet gives the bad results. So then aspect, how Jupiter's aspect on 5th position is always auspicious. He clears all the papas or all the bad omens. So daily transit of nakshatra, so that is also important, and yogas, lunar, sonar, these are the astrological tools. And then lagna and ascendant, I don't want to discuss much in detail, so I need some more session for this, going into intricacies or nitty-gritties. So, and about 12 signs while discussing, so Aries, as per English, I mean, as per the Western astrology, Aries, we know, we can see the our horoscope in newspapers and all. As per Western, if you are born between March 21st to April 19th, you are under Aries. And Taurus, if you are born between April 20th to May 20, Gemini, May 21 to June 20. This is where actually the sun is there during that particular planetary movement. So Makara Sankramanam, when it happens in Capricorn or Aquarius. So Capricorn, Makara Sankramana happens in Capricorn in January 14th, 13th, 14th. So this is the Rasi, this is the sign. So like that, when sun moves next Aquarius, comes February, then comes Pisces, March, like that, then Aries comes April, Taurus. So this is how the dates as per Western astrology has been decided upon, and the signs have been assigned. So why I am telling this, when you perform your dharma, when you perform your karmas, actions, so each sign has its own impact. If you are Aries born, you are a very competitive person. You struggle say hard, but always you feel insecure. By feeling insecure, you do mistakes, or you will be in hasty. You take wrong decisions, or you act in a fastidious manner. So, but when once they set their mind, for them, nothing is not scalable. No mountain is too high for them. They will scale everything when once they decide. So, Taurus are loyal, very loyal. Like a Taurus means what? Bull. Very loyal, like Nandi. How loyal he is for Lord Vishwanath, Vishweshwara. Because of that Nandi's direction, now Gnanavapi has come to us. Every day I've been visiting that Gnanavapi Masjid where Lord Shivling is there. Just because the great bull is facing that Nandi, we could establish. It's a Pratyaksha Pramana. So like that, Taurus is a stubborn and very loyal, most reliable person. The Taurus person is a most reliable person. I'm a Taurus fellow, so that's why I'm trying to boast myself. I'm a very reliable person. So then Gemini, they are very versatile. Why versatile? Because Gemini, Lord for Gemini is Mercury. Mercury gives the buddhi, intelligence, communication capabilities. So they are very versatile in different fields, but little impatient. So why impatient? It's having a air tattva. Again, there are different things we are talking. So that by that also we can analyze one's personality. So and one more advantage is they can adapt easily because they are having Vayu Tattva. But their futures run short, and once they run out of patience. So that is what. So Cancer is passionate but uncommunicative. They are very Cancer is what? Moon. So when Cancer people are what? Like moon, they are very cool, passionate, but they let their emotions won't come out. They protect themselves. So then Leo. Leo is, Leo is lion. And Leo is represented by sun. So they are confident but dominating. They are very confident fellows, very fiery fellows. But similarly, they also dominate others. They are heroes, leaders. So they think that they are born to be, they are not made, they are born leaders. There are two theories now, whether a leader is born, whether a leader is made. Whether leader is made. Modi is made or born. So similarly, born to be under spotlight. So they think like that. So they are always they think that they are right. So that's why they dominate. Virgo, they are perfectionist. Again, Virgo is managed by the Mercury. So they are perfectionist, but little doubts are there because of that signs characteristic. And then Libra, they are very empathetic. Why Libra? Libra is means that what you weigh is, it's a scale, no? It's a scale. So they are very emphatic. And but indecisive also, Libra, because they can't decide whether it is full or half. If you put them glass before them, they will say half glass is empty, but I will say half glass is full. So Libras are still, they are indecisive. Scorpio, intense but secretive. Scorpio, they are, because it is again ruled by Mars. Scorpio, this behavior of Scorpio. So they are very intense but secretive. So Sagittarius, spontaneous but flighty. When they can show you grand dreams, difficult to pin them down and make them to deliver on their promises. That is the problem with Sagittarians. Capricorn, goal-oriented but unforgiving. If somebody does mistake, no, they won't allow. So that is what the Capricornians are feeling. And then Aquarius, they are little. Aquarius means it is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn means philosophical. So, but detached. They want to be aloof, alone, elusive. And then, but they are deep thinkers, So, and then Spices, it's the last one. So, whimsical. They are whimsical people, oversensitive, imaginative mind, but they go into fantasies. So, this is the signs of them. And then we have discussed the qualities of the signs in astrology. Rasis, signs. Now, planets. We'll little discuss about planets. So, why I am discussing all these things is this is where your Sanaatana Dharma or following Dharma or doing karma. This is where, because of these characters, because basic traits, depending on them only, by learning, by environment, you can change, but not fully. మన తెలుగులో సామెత కూడా ఉంది, పుట్టుకతో వచ్చింది పుడకలతోటే పోతుంది. అంటే what you get at the time of birth, that will go only when you go at the end. Till such time, certain traits they cannot change. That is what the horoscope tells us. So, what these planets give us? Surya, Sauryam. Surya, Sauryam. Atha, Indu Ucha Padavim. Sanmangalam Mangalaha. Subuddhim cha Buddha. Guru cha Gurutham. Sukraha Sukham. Sham Shani. Rahum Bahubalam. Karotu Satatam. Ketu Kulasya Unnatim. So this is what the 9 planets basically promise. So sun gives you the valorness, gallantry. Moon gives you the position. If it's a good moon, it gives you, you are like anything, you shines like anything. You are calm, quiet, but you are a leader. And then Mars, it's again gives the valor, parakramam, strength. Mercury gives the buddhi. Jupiter gives power to help, showing empathy, sympathy, all those things. Showers grace, like Guru, he is a Deva Guru. And then Venus, of course, he gives the luxuries and comforts. So then Saturn, capacity to handle the tough situations. Saturn is not bad. He gives us the capacity, enduring power, perseverance, forbearance. People think that Saturn, oh no, Saturn is very good. If he is in Lagna, he will not deceive that Lagna. He will protect his Lagna as Lagnadhipati. Ketu, then Rahu. Rahu is always whimsical. He gives parakramam, physical force, but he gives maya also. Asa, durasa. Rahu. Ketu is nirasa, nispruha. But he gives the lineage. He helps Ketu, gives the moksha. How do you get moksha? You get moksha by doing all your karmas properly and doing your grihasthasrama properly. When you do grihasthasrama properly, you will get the lineage. You will get the children. So this is how these are planets characteristics. These are the characteristics of planets. So and then coming forward. So these are briefly I mentioned about what sun represents. Sun represents Tanubhavam, that is father, king, Tanu, self, soul, and the significations of royalty, self, soul, health, power, and all. Moon, mother, mind. So these are the I think you can go through. So these are the mind, face, royal woman, all those things. Emotions, sleep, happiness. Mars gives strength and brothers, energy, anger, violence, accidents. And Mars people can be army, police, doctors, and then they deal with lands. They are real estate brokers. They can be if Mars is good. So then Mercury gives us buddhi, as I told. So they are good in business, mathematics, engineering, communication, astrology, even all these things. Jupiter in wealth, wisdom, learning, fat, and he gives happiness, and Purva Punya also. So he talks about Purva Punya. Venus gives us comfort. Saturn, he gives longevity, death, all those things, livelihood, conduct, profession, servitude, because I mean, in a planetary kingdom, he is the servant. So then tattvas, these tattvas I said earlier, I said Vayu tattva. Vayu tattva, what is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are Vayu tattva, Aries. Earthy people are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn signs. Watery, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So basing on their tattva also, their behavior happens. Their doing actions will reflect that. So then finally what I am trying to establish is that Apollonians, that is sun, who have sun as their ruling planet, they are rash and proud in nature. Venus gives us more sensual desires and luxuries. And Mercury is very shrewd, but also dishonest at times. Because he is shrewd, he wants to overcome or dethrone somebody. Lunarian, sometimes he becomes unsusceptible to untruth. So he may follow adharmic ways. And because of his vacillating nature, lunatic nature, temperament. So sometimes he is on the verge of the wall, bottom is the pilly. So if moon is good, he will do good. If he bad, he is bad. If moon is mixed with, conjuncted with a bad planet, he behaves badly and he becomes bad. So this is what, and coming to now, we discussed the Purusharthas. I'll take another 10 minutes. Purusharthas, what are the houses that represent the Purusharthas? That is what I am discussing here. So we have discussed Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So the four Purusharthas. So what are the houses? So if we discuss the houses, this is the chakra. This is the chakra of Kalapurusha. This is what we have discussed. Aries starts from Aries, then Pisces. So sun starts from so this is I think Capricorn is missing here. One more anyhow. So this is the chart. So and then bhavas, we have 12 houses, 12 bhavas. So first is Lagna, that is Tanubhava. Next is Dhana. Second house is Dhana, family. Third house is strength. Fourth house is Matru, mother or education, primary education. Fifth is higher education. children and all, and also it represents the Purva children, it represents the children. Then Purva Karma also it represents. Then sixth house, Runa Roga, Shatru it represents. Seventh house, marriage, and Kalatra Yogam it represents. Eighth, health, and sudden illness or issues, whatever it is. This is called hidden houses. 7, 8, 9, 10th, they are called hidden houses. So from 8th house, they are called hidden houses. You don't know. Only the first 6, 7 houses are seen. Because you know your body, you know money, you have the strength, you have mother, and you have education, and then you have a marriage. So after that, you don't know how your health is going to be. And then what is your so ninth house represents your father, and then spirituality, you don't know what is your spirituality and all. Then 10th house is profession, and 11th house is gains, 12th house is expenditure. So these are the houses. So when we talk of Purusharthas, how do you attach the astrological bhavas to Purusharthas? In astrology, I mean, we have seen the Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So in astrology, the Dharma houses are, that means you follow Dharma, Sanaatana Dharma, or which you follow, those houses reflects first house, fifth house, ninth house. So these 3 houses show you the path for following your Dharma. Vishesha Dharma or Samanya Dharma. So your first house, it tells about you. Fifth house, it tells about your Purva Karma, Purva Punya, Sanchita Karma, or Prarabdha Karma. It will show you. Because of fifth house, you are born like this. Otherwise, you would have born like a somebody else. VS Murthy has born like this because of his fifth house. Otherwise, he would have born like a Modi or the Bill Gates. The fifth house is somewhat much more better than what I have. So Ardha comes from second house, sixth house, 10th house. 10th bhavas. 10th is profession. By earning, by doing your work, you get the Ardha, money. Second house, because if you are that is Dhanasthan. Sixth house, where Runa, Shatrus are there. Roga is there. And then Kama is third, 7th, 11th bhavas, they are Kama bhavas. They give the desires and enjoyment. Then Moksha, 4th, 8th, and 12th houses. So this is the bifurcation of our Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha houses as per astrology. So what are the tools we apply for knowing all these things? Planetary motion, one sign where the planet is there, Sun in one sign in 30 days, Moon 2.5 days, Mars 45 days, Mercury 21 days, Jupiter 12.5 months, Venus 26 days, Rahu Ketu 19 months. So like that, wherever the planet is there, it has an influence on that particular sign. Likewise, Vimsottar Dasha, we have Mahardasha, Antardasha, Stula Dasha, and Sukshma Dasha. So basing on those dasas, whoever is the ruler of your Mahardasha, he plays a greater part. And the ruler of Antardasha will, if he is a friend, he will help the Mahardasha Lord. If he is an enemy or bad graha, he behaves very fanatically. He gives the other side of the results. And then we have Shadbalas, all those things. So through Shadbala also we can know about the strength of the source of the strength of a planet, like Sthana Balam, where that planet is there, Dik Bala, which direction it is there, Drik Bala, which is aspecting it by that, and then the Kala, where it is posted, and then motion, Chesta, motion, Naisargika, it's natural Bala. So by all these things, we can also know a particular planet is helpful for us or not. Whatever is said and done, as a human being, we have something. This is our B.B. Patavaram's slide, sir side. I have taken it just for our informative purpose. So we have something in our control, something out of our control. So we cannot peg our horse. Peg our horse where we have no control. So, what are in my control? My thoughts and actions. How do I spend my energy? How I behave myself? What goals I can set? How I spend my free time? How I'm going to handle challenges? And what are my boundaries? These are strength, weakness, threats, and opportunities one has. SWOT analysis. And then, but something they are not out of my control. Action of others. The karma of others, I am not under control. That is why I also met with accident with him in train accident. Otherwise, my stars are very good. And I will ask and go ask an astrologer, sir, I am very good. How do I meet my accident? He says, it is not your karma, it is the karma of your associate. So that is our action of others. And then outcome of my efforts, as Lord Krishna says, I don't know. Karmanevadhikaraste. So outcome, I cannot know. Future, I also don't know about future fully. So how others, even profession also, we cannot know fully. First I would have joined government service. Next I will hop on. I'll change over. Finally I will resign and sit at home. What happens to that career? Or I will take VRS at the age of 52 years. Then what happens? But somebody joins as a clerk, he becomes the joint secretary. What about him? Somebody joins as an assistant manager, he becomes the MD of that company. What about him? So, how others take care of themselves, that also we don't know. Opinions of others also, unless they express, we don't know. So, you need to take into consideration all these parameters. So, that is why, while following your dharma, what you should do, what are the 10 tenets that you can do? First one is no. Ability to say no. You should be frank and fair. If you can't do, say no. Khatam. You are free and frank. But if you can do something, then you will say, I don't know, but I will find out. That is eager to improve yourself. Learn and improve yourself. Then there is another also, you admit your mistake. See, Manava Sahajam Tappul Jayadam Annadi. If you do 100 attempts, you can't be successful in 100. Maybe 60, 70, 80. The remaining 20 goes. By that, you should not feel offended. So, I made a mistake. If you admit, then you have an opportunity to learn and improve ourselves. I appreciate your perspective. It's not only not one-sided. You should try to appreciate others. Then that samyamanam will come. Then not only that, I believe in you. You trust somebody. You know, even Paramasiva trusted Nandi. Rama trusted Hanuman. And he left it to Hanuman. You go and search for Sita. You take all these people. Which direction you want to go, I don't mind. So he trusted. So trust is very important. Then let us give a try. If new things are there, don't be afraid of it. You try, so that something may come out of it. When Sagar Manthan was done, all things have come. 14 Ratnas have come. What are they? Right from Halahalam to Amrit, nectar. Halahalam has come, Airavatam has come, Kalpavrisham has come, Ramba has come. What not? So, all these having come, somebody has taken something. Vishwanatha took the Halahalam. Indra took the Airavatam. So, like that. So, that's why you try. And then, I need help. So, if you can't do on your own, don't be shy enough to say. Don't feel that, oh, how can I? No, somebody will feel that I am defeated. No, take their help. It makes you strong. Okay. I am sorry, always say. If something, it's not a sign of weakness. If you say sorry, it says your simplicity. And always you should say, I will make it happen. You want to do? Apollyon has this. I will make it happen. The having son as a strong, he will say, I will do it, I will do it. By hook and crook, I will do it. They are doers. They are leaders. And then finally, I am enough. So you have that contentment. Otherwise, the desire, Asha, it will not stop us. You should have contentment at some point or the other. So you should follow while doing your dharma. You should try to remember all these 10 points. This is what I thought. But what we should not do, what we should have, Nishiddha Dharma. What are the 10 bad qualities? Ahankara, ego, cruelty, amanavata, anyaya, injustice, lust, krodha, lobha, overpride, mascharya, jealousy, moha, attachment. No attachment. You take everything as it comes. Why do you bother? Take the things as they are. Then Swardha. So all these things. That is why in Vijayadashmi day they say, Vijayadashmi means what? You forgetting all these, Dasahara. Dasara means Dasahara. So you, that Durga, Mata Durga, goddess Durga, makes you free from all these 10 bad qualities. In conclusion, mind your mind. That is my final say. Mind your mind. That means your soul knows when something is, your heart is here. By heart, that if it is real, it is real. That's all. Nobody can tamper. No word can go out of it. If you say it is correct, it is correct. So your soul knows when something is real. Your soul knows when situation is authentic. Tanubhava. That Tanubhava knows that yes, this is true. This is correct. Perfect. There is no every mind in that. Authentic. Pakka. And which situation is correct, which situation is not correct. Somebody say Modi is bad, Modi is good, all this. No, but you know from your inner self what X is, what is, Y is, what Z is. No matter what anyone else tries to say or persuade you, truth will always prevail. Satyameva jayate. Satyam alone, truth alone triumphs. So 10 people, 10 in different ways. But truth you cannot change. Truth is only one. That is Satyam. Satyam Jnanam Param Brahma. Truth alone. So truth will always feel it is different. It is crystal clear. You can make it. Truth is truth. And you cannot fake it. You can make it. You cannot fake it. So when something happens, good thing, your heart knows. Nobody need to tell you, or you need not to tell anybody. If you are happy, your heart will tell, yes, it is resonating. That is why you always trust your feelings within. Aham Brahmasmi. So this is where I would end. Thank you very much for listening to me. This is my presentation. I am stopping the sharing. Astoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutangamaya, Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. Lead me from unreal to real. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Har Har Mahadev. So I am stopping the screen.
ఓకే ధన్యవాదములండి మూర్తి గారు.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you so much. Another view of astrology. Now, anybody has any questions? I unmute all of you. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions if you have. Or you want to say anything also?
How to
Okay,
Please
PK Sharma
tell
garu.
about Prarabdha.
PK Sharma garu. Others, mute yourself. Raise your hand, then I will take the next one. All of you mute yourself. I will ask the first person. Sri Krishna Avari. Avari.
హరి ఓం.
Yeah.
గురువు గారు, ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా మనకు 30,000 సంవత్సరాల నుంచే ఏదంటే వేదాలు ఇవన్నీ రాయబడ్డాయని చెప్తున్నారు కదండి. కాకపోతే ఇది భగవద్గీతలో కావచ్చు, వాల్మీకి రామాయణంలో కావచ్చు, శ్రీరాముడు 11,000 సంవత్సరాలు రాజ్యం చేశారని చెప్పారు. తర్వాత భారతంలో ఇది భగవద్గీతలో అయితే గిన అది చతుర్యుగం అని ఇలా చాలా ఉన్నాయండి. సో దాంట్లో కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉన్నది, ఏమన్నా చెప్పగలరా?
Is it connected with this webinar? Sri Krishna.
అంటే దాంట్లో మన మూర్తి సార్ గారు చెప్పారు 30,000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం నుంచే వేదాలు రాయబడ్డాయి అన్నట్టు వచ్చిందండి.
ఓకే, మూర్తి గారు.
అయ్యా, ఇది సంవత్సరాలంటే మన 1 year సంవత్సరం కాదండి. 1 year సంవత్సరం కాదు. మనకి ఒక సంవత్సరం అంటే బ్రహ్మ గారికి ఒక రోజు.
అవునా, వాళ్ళకి ఒక రోజు కూడా కాదండి, పగటి కాలమే దాదాపుగా మహాభారత.
సరే, మీరు అనుకున్నట్లుగానే. ఓకే, సో అందువల్ల ఈ 30,000 సంవత్సరం ఇది ఊరికి ఒక ఇమాజినరీ ఫిగర్ అండి. నేను మొదలే చెప్పున్నాను, ఇది ఒక ఇమాజినరీ ఫిగర్సే. ఇట్లాంటి యూనివర్సులు చాలా ఉన్నాయి. మహాభారతం ఒక ఈ యూనివర్స్ లోనే జరగల, ఇంకా యూనివర్స్ లో జరిగిందిట. సో మనకి 28 కల్పాలు ఉన్నాయి. ప్రతి కల్పంలోనూ 4 యుగాలు వస్తాయి. ఇవన్నీ ఇప్పుడు డిస్కషన్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ కాదు ఇది. అందుకే కల్నల్ గారు అన్నారు ఇది రిలేటెడ్ అని అన్నారు. ఇదేంటంటే ఒక జనరల్ కామన్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ కోసం ఇది చెప్పింది. ఎందుకంటే మన వాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఎక్కడంటే పాశ్చాత్య సంస్కృతి మీద మనం ఆధారపడి ఉండి మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే మన సంస్కృతిని మర్చిపోతున్నాం.
అదే గురుగారు,
నేను ఇవన్నీ ఎందుకు ఉదాహరణ చూపించవలసి వచ్చింది అంటే, పాశ్చాత్యుల కన్నా మనం ఇంకా ఎప్పుడు సనాతనులము అని చెప్పడం కొరకే నేను ఇది చెప్పడం జరిగింది. ఇది ఐ హావ్ టేకెన్ ఫ్రమ్ ది వికీపీడియా. You can refer those figures. They are absolutely from Wikipedia only. They are not my cooked figures. Okay.
అదే కాదు సార్, వైశేషిక అనేది ఒకటి మనది ఉంది కదా, దాంట్లో కనాద మహర్షి గారు న్యూటన్ గమన సూత్రాల గురించి ఎప్పుడో చెప్పారు. కాబట్టి మన దౌర్భాగ్యం ఏంటిదంటే న్యూటన్ చెప్పాడని మనం చెప్పుకోవడమే మన దౌర్భాగ్యం.
అది తెలియదు మనకి. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు అందుకే విమాన శాస్త్రము ఇప్పుడు ఎవరో రైట్ బ్రదర్స్ విమానం కనుక్కున్నారంటే మొన్న 1857 లో కనుక్కోలేదు. విమాన శాస్త్రం అన్నది మన
పుష్పక విమానం ఉంది కదా
అది సరే, అది మర్చిపోండి. పుష్పక విమానం మనం చూడలేదు, కానీ అప్పుడు విమానాలు చేశారు అనడానికి ఆధారాలు. దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ ది ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ ఆర్ యూజ్డ్ ఎట్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్. దోస్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ ఆర్ అవైలబుల్. సిఎస్ఆర్ ప్రభు గారు దాని మీద పెద్ద కృషి చేశారు. అది అధర్వణ వేదంలోనే మెన్షన్ చేసింది. సో ఇలా అందుకే నేను చెప్పాను ఇందాక ఆల్రెడీ. ఈ విషయం కూడా నేను విన్నవించాను. ఏంటంటే ప్రామాణికం కోసం చెప్పాము. మనం ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు కంపేర్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మరి మనము ఆర్యభట్ట గురించి మాట్లాడాము, అదే వరాహమిహిరుడు గురించి మాట్లాడాము. న్యూటన్ ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాడు కదండి. అంటే న్యూటన్ ఎప్పుడు చెప్పాడు? నిన్న చెప్పాడు. నీది మొన్నటిది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద క్లారిఫికేషన్. సో అందువల్ల మనం అలా చెప్పడం జరిగింది.
మన దౌర్భాగ్యం ఏంటిదంటే కాళిదాసుకు ఇండియన్ షేక్స్పియర్ అని పేరు పెట్టారు. కాళిదాసు ఎప్పుడు, షేక్స్పియర్ ఎప్పుడు?
అదే విన్నారా? ఉంటుంది అంటే ఆ పేరు మనం పెట్టలేదండి. ఇండియన్ పెట్టది ఎవడో వాడు బ్రౌనో ఎవరో పెట్టుంటారు, థామస్ సిపి బ్రౌనో ఎవరో పెట్టుంటారు. అదే మనము కోట్ చేస్తున్నాము.
అది మన
ఇప్పుడు ఆల్ రోడ్ లీడ్స్ టు రోమ్ అంటాం. వై రోమ్?
అదే
సో
అదే
ఇది కూడా అలాగే అదొక సామెత, అంతకంటే ఏం లేదు.
అదే
అది ఊరికే
అదే
ఈజీగా ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ కోసం మనం పెట్టుకున్నటువంటి కొన్ని, అది ఫాలో అవుతున్నాం. బికాస్ వీఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్ వెస్ట్రన్ కల్చర్, వీఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్ దోస్ టెనెట్స్ అంతే. అంతేగాని నాట్ దట్ దే ఆర్ ట్రూ అండ్ రియల్. అండ్ యూ కాంట్ కంపేర్ కాళిదాస విత్ షేక్స్పియర్. కాళిదాస is different, షేక్స్పియర్ is different.
అదే అదే గురు.
Okay,
ఓకే ఓకే, ధన్యవాదాలు గురువు గారు.
చాలా సంతోషం.
Okay, Sonia ji.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, this was very enlightening. I don't know what was said before. It was interesting, but I don't know what was said. If you could summarize what his question was and what your answer was, I would really appreciate it. For those of us that don't speak that language, I am trying to learn Sanskrit myself, and so I appreciate that you use some Sanskrit words in here. A couple of questions I have. You talked about zodiac signs in in the Western world, Aries, Taurus. I didn't see you talk about the same in how it relates to for for the Hindu. I don't know what to say the right way, but moon signs that we use. I don't think, or maybe I'm mistaken, there isn't one. Maybe you can explain about that. And second question is the astrology. Everybody wants to know their future, what I should do, when I will get money, when I will marry, when I will get a job. What do you think should be the purpose of astrology, and how should we use it best? So, to attain my final moksha.
Yes, ma'am. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
please. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. The first question is, how can we relate that Western astrology with Indian astrology? Correct? So,
Yes.
how do we relate? Because the movement is based on sun and planets. It is same as for the astronomical movement of the sun and moon, whether in Western astrology or in our Indian astrology. Okay. So the basing on that only the signs have come.
Okay.
So when I am making a chart, birth chart, a native chart, what I will do, basing on the, I will have one ascendant called Lagna. Lagna is based on the, I have not discussed Lagna and all because this time is not sufficient for all those things. So when you calculate the Lagna is calculated basing on the location, that is place of birth, then time of birth, then date of birth. So location is based on longitude and latitude of that particular area where a person is born, right? So then date of birth is the date. So that again comes from Western date. If it is 11th now, we don't take the Telugu or Hindu calendar. We take Western calendar only. So that is because what for when sun rises, when sun sets, basing on that for calculative purpose, the ephemeris they are called, they are prepared basing on that particular day at 6 o'clock, for example, if sun rises. So at 6 o'clock, on which sign he is, that sign we will give to the native. So here the, superimposition of that particular sign, Aries, Aquarius, all those things, that will come, number one. Then number two, nakshatra. So nakshatra, moon is placed in which nakshatra? That is called moon rasi. And in that month, sun will be somewhere, that particular sign. So we will examine a natal chart on these three. One is basing on the Lagna, basing on the sun's position, and third one is basing on moon's position. So these are three types of the astrological tools. Okay. So while doing this, I think I have answered your first part. So this is how the Western astrology and the Indian astrology are correlated, and what are the Indian astrological tools I have told. So please repeat your second question, madam.
The second question is how, so you're saying that for example, Gemini is May 21st to June 20th. It's called
Yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Is it called something else in, is it
Gemini.
called something
Gemini
else?
we call Midhuna Rasi. Gemini.
Mithuna
we
Rashi.
called Midhuna
Okay.
Rasi.
So it's the same thing, same period, but you call it Mithuna Rashi. Is that right?
Midhuna Rasi. Correct. Same.
Okay. So I think it would help in your zodiac sign if you put the Mithuna Rashi next to it also, so we
Yes.
can kind of
No.
correlate in that way.
I'm not getting.
No, may I interfere here, please?
Yeah.
Soniaji,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you are talking, what he is talking slightly parallel.
Okay.
You are talking about whether the areas is what you are talking in English is same as areas in Telugu, in Indian knowledge. That's
Yeah,
what you are
I'm
asking. It is
I'm
not.
saying if I'm
It is not.
okay, it is not okay.
It is not.
Mm.
The mostly the Surya Siddhanta of us is more or less matches to the Western nomenclature of the houses. More or less, slightly. Where Surya is moving, based on the Surya's position, the Western names are given areas and things like that. But the Indian system of prominently used is moon-based Siddhanta. That is Nakshatra-based, what he is talking about. Murthy Sahib is talking about. Is Murthy based, that one is based on the moon's position, the areas is fixed. That is, he is talking about three-phased philosophy of astrology is there. That is correct. But your question is very simple question. Whether the areas,
Yeah.
if I am saying 20th Gemini, 28th is Gemini in Indian foreign astrology, can I call for everybody being born in 20th June will be Gemini at all? No. Every year the 20th June star may be different. The star position decides the Rasi of the Indian astrology.
Okay. So my birthday is May 24th.
As per Indian astrology, if you say Rasi, which Rasi I belong to, every year 20th June may not be Gemini. That's what you have to understand. The names are different. Mesha, Vrishabha, Midhuna, Karkataka, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishchika, Dhanas, Makara, Kumbha, Meena. These are the names of as per Hindu astrology.
Okay.
And areas and all these things are Western names given there, and this is but more or less same in the name wise. But when you want to fix a particular person's Rasi house, which house he belongs to, you have to go to the moon in which star he is, and the star wise 27 stars are divided into 12 houses.
Okay. So
that's how the 12 houses, which star you belong to on 20th June of so and so year.
Okay. So I was trying to. Yes. Okay. So now it makes. So if I say I'm born April 1st, for example, and so every child born on this earth, April 1st, according to the zodiac, is Aries. But you're saying that it will be different for that individual person.
Yes,
because
it
of the moon.
Depends on his star on that year.
Yeah.
In that year, on that day, which star is moon was there.
Okay.
Based on that,
makes
the
sense.
zodiac will may differ from areas.
Okay. Thank you so much. That helps. And then my third question.
But Lagnam with another aspect is there.
Yeah.
But Lagna aspect and Surya position will match with that mostly.
the place, the time of birth, and
Yes, those things
Yeah.
will match this. The Surya position based on Surya position and longitude and latitude and those things, and based on this Surya sunrise and sunset, the Lagna things are being fixed.
Hmm.
There are, as he says, three strategies are there: the position of moon, the position of sun, and the position of Lagna.
Mhm.
These three things are to be combinedly to be told when you are talking about astrology. You cannot
Okay.
isolatedly say just this day is this day and this is this house. We have three houses. One is Lagna house, one is Rasi house, one is Ravi house. Three houses we will see and see the position of that.
Mm.
Of the astrological point of view, we will see all these aspects and then predict.
Okay. Okay.
So
Um,
Rasi Phalitam, Lagna Phalitam, and then natal chart, the base chart. When he has born, what type of chart is there? That is one point. And present day, what is the position of planets? That is second point. And third point is what is dasha is going on. Third point. These 3 points have to be seen and to be correlated together and to be predicted. You cannot just see Rasi and predict. You cannot just see Lagnam and predict. You cannot just see the dasha, today's dasha and predict. You should not do that. If you do that, it will be failure. People do that sometimes. So results
So-
will be wrong.
okay. And then the last question is, I still have a lot of questions, but last question is, how should we use this Jyotish Shastra? What is, because mostly people use it for knowing about the future. How can I get money, get a better job, get married? When will this happen? So is that the purpose of this Shastra or something else?
Madam, I would like
Murthy would like to
to
answer.
tell here. Sir, please.
Would you like to answer? Please answer. Would you like to answer? Would
Yeah.
you like to answer, Murthy garu?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alage, sir. We can not only predict the marriage or profession, something like that. Any event we can timing of events we can predict. That is what. Please ask question again. Can you please come again? I just missed it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I know that you can predict the future, and again, everything is how we act during that time.
Yeah.
Again, that will change. I'm going to get married. You have a chance to get married in this year, but if I
Yeah.
don't do anything about it, that year will pass, and I'm not married. For example. But my thing is that is there a bigger purpose for Jyotish Shastra than just predicting your future? Is there a different purpose? What is the purpose? Any other purpose besides predicting your future based on your past?
No, purpose is not only for events, but for see, as I said earlier, to perform an action or to behave in a proper way, to mold your personality, to have a structured learning in your life, and connect your life experiences with future events. So for all this, astrology is useful.
But there are people that don't do anything
Can I
without looking at astrology. They
Can I
depend so much. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your question is without knowing astrology also you can somebody can go like that. Yes, they can go, but it is like what I said, that horse and pegging. So if horse is not pegged, what happens? It will go and fall down in a pit. Pit is your again bad luck. So
Yeah.
if it is pegged properly and if it grazes properly, it gets good results. So that's only, for that only the astrology is used. See, for doing nothing also you can get something. That's a different story. But why people do some karma?
Acha.
Okay, sir. Murthy garu.
Murthy garu, okay.
Her question I will answer. See, Sonia ji, your question is whether she depend on astrology for doing some work or just like that, leave it to the whatever is happening as a practical way will go. That's what your question, right? And how
I
should
think
what for
question-
astrology to be used? That's what you want to say, right?
it's the original purpose for the astrology.
Who is speaking?
Somebody is trying to speak. I didn't ask him. I muted him for that. He'll go
Sitaram.
ahead.
This is Sitaram.
Sitaramji, you would like to speak
Okay,
on
sir.
this?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, please speak. Let me know your idea.
Yeah. So the original idea of astrology is not, predicting somebody's future or all that. The accuracy, the demanding accuracy is not, is to create an auspicious time for performing a ritual. From that ritual, from that Shastra, it is the predicting the future based on the past karmas or whatever it is, or the kundali, whatever we have for individuals, is the outcome of that particular calculations. So the original purpose of this one is to create determine an auspicious time based on the celestial objects, movement and their positions to perform a ritual. Because the ritual has to happen for the global good or for the societal good, they would like to make sure the purpose will be served 100%, if not 101%. For that, we need a very, the timing has to be calculated very accurately as per their philosophy. So based on their idea, they created this whole calculations. Because they already calculated, so they created this algorithm based on the statistical analysis. Then they also started applying this for the individuals. And now we are also predicting the politicians and all that stuff. So that's why it is not very accurate, because the original purpose is not to predict who will become the political leader. That's why we are failing there. So we are trying to apply some model to all models. Every event happens in the world. So the original purpose for to answer Sonia's question is to predict a good time for performing a ritual.
Okay.
Second question, I don't.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's correct. I agree with this concept. I agree with what your answer. That is correct. Yes.
So
what else? Second point, what you are telling?
Yeah. So she asked the differences between the solar system, sun-based movement versus a lunar movements, right? Lunar is moon, right? So we have got two different calendars, two different way of Surya Siddhanta versus the lunar calendar-based Siddhanta. So we have 9 planets where sun is not a planet, where everything goes around sun, and moon is a planet at that time. But when the lunar calendar, lunar-based Kundali, Earth is not a planet, whereas moon is a planet and sun is a planet. Then we have got 2 Chayagrahas as well, which are not, which is planet. So I think it is already covered. I don't know. I just joined late. Maybe it is covered. So we have got only 7 planets for the lunar calendar, where Earth is not a planet, whereas moon is a planet. So that's why we have got the 7 days of a week, one for each planet, starting with the sun, ending with the Saturn. So these are all the 7 planets. Then the third thing I would like to convey in investors is when a person born, they take all these kundalis that trying to take is the snapshot of the universe for that particular person born on that particular day and at particular location, time of birth, date of birth, and place of birth. Based on that, what they take the snapshot of the universe with major influencing planets or celestial objects, let's put that way. Once they take the snapshot, he is the king for that. He is the center person for that. So that is how I interpret Aham Brahmasmi as that. Because the person who born, he is the Brahma for the snapshot of the universe. And it is just unique for himself. And that universe always moves around him and influences him till he exists physically. So that particular snapshot rules him. Same thing. I mean, if a person, the same two persons, same born in two different places, they have got two different universes. Snapshot of the universes, not universes. Snapshot of the universes. That snapshot always rules him. He rules each individual. And the calculation, and our ancestors put together so much effort. Statistical analysis they did, what went for what position influences how, over a period of thousands of years, and they created the Shastra. This is just a statistical analysis. And the
Okay.
third thing, sorry.
Sitaram Garu,
Ah.
how long you will take to answer this?
I mean, last
That's-
question.
No, let him continue. Let him continue. He's bringing a good logic. Okay, go ahead.
Last question I would like to talk is, it's a
No,
predictable analysis.
this you are complete. This point you are completed.
I'm completing. Yeah, this
What
one
is
is
the last point you want to talk?
last thing I would like to talk is so it is like an LLM model, right? It's a generative AI model where you give four words in a sentence, and fifth word to complete the sentence we use an algorithm called LLM, a large language model. It is exactly the same, but sometimes it doesn't, like a ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 3. Okay? It is exactly like, so based on how much training you give on the data and how much we test it, basically then we'll calculate the prediction of the model. Then we will say, okay, this model is giving more accuracy, so let us go with this model. Same thing we have done with this Sastra, this is Kundali business and all that. So it is not 100% ever. It cannot be, because there is always, because it's all unpredictable, because no one is training all these movements. It cannot be every movement, like you guys, you must be knowing about the what you call theory of everything. We do not know a movement of every celestial object with accuracy. We do not know how much universe we have to start with. So we don't know some unknown.
Okay. Sriramji, any other points you have got?
So
Yeah, I could get you. What is let us go to next point. Any other point you have?
I think this is the last one.
Thank you.
Okay, I request you to give a webinar on your logics. It's very good logics you are bringing out, and this is the way we should think also in another angle of the astrology. Please bring out a webinar. We'll be happy to hear you.
Sure, sir.
So please give your number and other things. We'll be in touch with you. And then the question of Sonia ji is still not answered. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
because
this is
we are talking about theory of the astrology. Our question is very simple. Our question is, if I am seeing a horoscope, what for I should see the horoscope? Whether I should see for the fixing my marriage date or fixing my good time. That's what our question.
Oh, is that
See,
right?
you have to see based on the horoscope gives you the basics of your past karma. As per Murthy is saying, the Sanaatana Dharma based astrology is, it gives past your karma. What is your present position with respect to marriage, with respect to Udyogam? There is going to be help you, or there is going to be a problem to you. What is the present condition of your karma? Whether you are destined to get or not destined to get. Whether planets are favorable to you or not favorable to you for that particular aspect of it. That it gives. Based on that, whether the present time is favorable for doing particular act or not. That's how the system of the present position of the planets, present position of with respect to your horoscope, is suitable or not suitable for doing particular action. That for that purpose we have to go ahead. So what an astrologer should say to the person is, yes, time is favorable to you to do this job right now. Please go ahead, do your mano prayatna. You will get the proper success. No, this time is not favorable to you now. The planets are against for this particular aspect of marriage or job or something like that right now. Please don't waste your time now. Try to do it after 1 year or 2 years. That time is favorable for you for doing this job. So don't waste your time now on this aspect. Think of something else which is favorable to you. now. And third point is whether particular day is or particular month is, particular year is supportive to you or an against to you, as per the planets in general. These are the two, three types of concepts we should develop, we have for going for horoscope. Not because horoscope is saying that the marriage will happen on this day, that may not happen because it depends on the past, your karma also and destiny also. Not necessarily. And the person, and another thing is a person who is really a godly person, Daivagnaha. The Jyotisha is a Daivagnaha. If really the Daivagnaha is there, who has got a capacity of mantra Shakti, if that person says the marriage happens by chance, by his mouth, if he says this will happen now, it will happen. Because whatever karma is there, because you approached that right person, that godly person, whatever karma was there holding your work may get pacified, and then you may get the result. So that happened 1 in 1,000 cases, not every case. Everyone cannot be such a intuitional Daivagnaha. In the olden days, they used to be there, not now. So now what we should see, the present position of the astrology is properly in a favorable condition to you or not in a favorable condition to you. If it's not favorable condition to you, further, don't attempt that one. With that type of knowledge, if you go, you will be very comfortable with astrology.
Okay,
I
thank
hope
you.
you answered your
Thank you
question.
so much. This
Sonia
topic
ji.
is very, very interesting, and also a lot of people will have different ideas. And Sitaram Garu is already said it is meant for fixing the muhurtam for yajnas and yagas and being used now for the purpose which is not meant for.
That is the main purpose.
Okay, now
Astrology is, this theory has come for that purpose.
yeah, now one more person we will take. Otherwise, now people are leaving also. It is already 6:10. Savita ji, you unmute yourself and then ask a very short question.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much. It's real great pleasure for me to hear all the discussion, and it's really a bird's eye view on Jyotish Shastra. Mine is a very basic question. When sir was explaining about various characteristics of Capricorn and all, it is something related to Madam Sonia's question. See, we are born in nakshatra. So, like how Prabhakar sir has told, the nakshatra
You want to explain
characteristics.
further?
No, I have a doubt. The nakshatra characteristics of a person is different from the Capricorn or Aries characteristics. So, what characteristics should we consider while understanding a person?
Madam, I would like to tell you here that when you consider one's behavior or characteristics, you need to take into consideration the sign, Rasi. It's Tattva, and what Tattva, Airi, what Sairi, all those 4 Tattvas, Bhu, Jala, Vayu, Agni Tattvas. And then you have to take into consideration the planet and planetary characteristics or significations. And then, as you said, star, its significations. You need to superimpose and synchronize all these qualities and characteristics, synchronize them, and then come to a conclusion. You cannot simply jump into conclusion and say that, oh, he's a Leo fellow, so he's very hot. No, it's not like that. But that is why, as Prabhakar Rao sir said, isolatedly we should not see. We should see the sun sign, the moon sign, the ascendant, that is Lagna, or the star. Of course, star is nothing but moon, where moon stays. So, besides this, you should also see the strength of that planet. That is called Bala. I already discussed about it. So, when you are considering a planet, whether that planet has the strength. If it doesn't have the strength, its characteristics loses, number 1. Number 2, if that planet is combust, then also it cannot perform. Number 3, if that the good planet, for example, moon, I said, I gave the example also. If moon is combust with Mars or combust with Rahu, then the person's characteristics will be different. If moon is weak, he will be a lunatic. So you cannot alone take one graha or one rasi or one star, its characteristics, and just simply jump into a conclusion. So that is what a holistic approach has to be taken while
Okay.
deciding the. Okay.
Okay, got it. Now, can you comment on Nadi Jyotisha?
No, sir, I am not competent on Nadi because
Okay,
I have not studied it.
PK Sharma garu, that answers your question. Rajagopalan garu, would you like to say anything? Please unmute yourself.
Hello. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Very nice. So there were 2-3 questions which have been asked by few of the participants. So most of them have been answered very nicely. I think one Sonia or somebody was there, and then later one more lady asked mostly about the Western condition and this one. What is my observation for last almost 16 to 17 years of practice in Vedic as well as astrology is that one thing you can take for granted. Our Indian, because our Indian astrological, they deduct around 23 degrees from the visible position of the constellation. That translates into a gap of 23 days between the sun sign in Western zodiac and our Indian one. If somebody is born on March 24, just for example, I'm telling, then his Vedic sign, sun sign will be Piscian. Piscian means Meena. Whereas the Western sunshine will show it as an Aryan. So the question is that, see, we should not mix up this Western with our Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is based on a very well consolidated, well documented and time tested and space tested science. Whereas Western one, it goes with a different angle. Now, she was asking me, what for this Vedika, this astrology itself is there. Astrology is not going to change your destiny because you are born with a Purvajanma karma, and karma philosophy, as everybody has said, it is fixed. Even Brahma, Mahesh, Vishnu, nobody can change what is going to happen in your life. But what it does, Jyotisha is not actually the astrology. Jyotisha means that brings Jyoti into your life, means the enlightenment, how to tackle the issues, how best it can be tackled with wisdom and knowledge. So suppose you are to fall, means you have to meet with an accident, it is certain. But the thing is that if you are prepared for some unforeseen accident, you will be more cautious. When you are more cautious, you will have the willpower to face it. Second thing, another one, what I would like to say is that somebody was asking about nakshatra and all those things. One is called as what he called as Surya Siddhanta, and it has been elaborately told by our today's speaker also. When we say some Aries or something, it is not one particular thing. It is a constellation of stars, constellation group of stars. So when I say Aries or Mesha Rasi, then immediately it goes Ashwani, Bharani, Kritika, Pratama Pada. So every nakshatra will be divided into 4 pada, and each means 9 sectors, 9 quadrants. Each quadrant, one square house will have 9 components. Means Ashwani 4 pada, Bharani 4, and Kritika Pratama. So then they say that when there is a small time gap between the Mesha to Taurus, or you can say Taurus to Mithuna, the transition is the Sandhi period. This Sandhi is the main thing which creates a lot of problem for interpretation. So the thing is that another one major difference between the Western and this one, Western astrology considers 12 o'clock midnight as the previous day. The moment 12 o'clock is over, 01 comes, it is the next day. For example, today is 22nd, 3rd of March. So some baby is born today night exactly at 12:01. They will call it as the baby is born on 24th. Whereas our astrology, Vedic astrology, considers sunrise to sunset. So till the sun does not rise, it remains as a 23rd only. It is not going to become 24th. And again, in our Vedic astrology also, as our Murthy Garu knows very well. He's also a practicing person. That depending upon the Panchanga you refer, again, the thing is that there is nothing called Kanida Panchanga is different and Vakya Panchanga is different and different ladies and other things. See, the question is that which Panchanga you are. If you are going by the Vakya Panchanga, there will be a drastic difference, especially during the transition period of the Kritika Pratama and Kritika Dvitiya Pada. So these and this transition and minor variations will come. So the question is that either you follow, if you are matching two boys and girls, better follow only one Panchanga. You make the horoscope with Kanida Panchanga means then Kanida Panchanga only compare with the Kanida Panchanga. Don't make totally two different type of computation and compare it. Another one, marriage, profession, Purvajanma karma, everything has been very well specified in Vedic astrology as per the individual houses. For example, I will tell you one small example and then I'll just take leave. For Kataka Rashi, if Buddha is Nicha, then it is good that the boy will be studying very well. But Buddha is a Jnanakaraka. Study purpose, we take importance to Buddha. But when it is a Katagara, for Kataka Rashi, if Buddha is Nicha, then that baby born in Kataka Rashi will be having a very good education. The question is that universally we cannot make statements for any of the interpretation. It varies from person to person. It is nothing but it is a integration of so many things into one place. We cannot see only discretely one square at a time. You have to see what are the bhavas. And again, Dasha Bhukti, even if there is a Mars which is depleted or something, during that Dasha time only that is going to create more problem, not the throughout his life. This also one should remember. And similarly, Ashtama Shani, this will create some, it does not mean that you should not do any job. During Ashtama Shani period, you have to continue to the job. Otherwise, you will stop everything, means nothing can be done. So these are all the preventive measures. And the who knows when the planet is sitting, it has got more power. As he was talking about Bala and all those things. Similarly, the Guru, more than its position where it is sitting, what it is viewing, that is more important. 5, 7, 9, 12, like those where it is viewing is important. So like that, every planet has got a viewing. For marriage purpose, we invariably go for the Saptamasthana, Lagnasthana, where the moon is, where the Shukra is there, where Guru view has come or not. So depending upon all those things, they say Kalatrasthana, and Kalatrasthana is 7, Kalatra Karaka is Shukra. So Kalatra Karaka also has been seen, Kalatra Sthana also has been seen, and at the same time, if both are not good, what about the moon, where it is there? So Hora Shastra deals most with Rashi, day-to-day and short-term gain, short-term interpretation. Lagna has to be taken care of for the long-range, beneficial, full life and other predictions. So Lagna cannot be omitted. Rashi cannot be omitted, and again we have to see the conjugation and combustibility also is said. I will say that the narrowness between the two planets, what is the degree it makes, that is also important. And all the Vakra is also there, one more, that is also very important. So there are, it is a Vedic science, it is a very long science, it cannot be said with one single observation, this is going to happen, that is not going to happen. But one thing, all said and done, Vedic Shastra says, gives you the remedial measure to face anything. Because nobody goes to the astrologer for when he's not, only when he's in desperate condition or when he wants to fix some good auspicious time. Only for two things only a normal human being will go to astrologer. So this can be taken care of as a remedial measure. Enlightening, the Shastra name is not to be converted as astrology, but it should be taken as a Jyotisha Shastra. It brings in light into your life, how to get rid of the darkness in your life. That is why the Jyotisha Shastra is got more impact than the astrological prediction. Prediction is just a side way. It is going, what is your karma, that you have to face it. And how you have to remedy it, that has to be seen. So all these things are very well documented in our this one. With these few words, because it's a very, very, very ocean science. So it cannot be told in such a few words. With these words, I thank the organizer for giving me a time to explain myself. In case anybody wants a detailed explanation on their individual one, they can welcome to contact me. But the thing is that with these words, I thank the organizer for giving me a chance. Hope that it is a very thought-provocative, thought-inquisitive, and stormy thinking session, and it is a really good one. Let everybody be happy, and everybody born in all the nakshatras are lucky only. Please don't think that I born in this nakshatra, so I am unlucky. There is nothing called. All the nakshatras are very good, including Moola, Purada, everything is good. So don't get into the panicky mode, and there is nothing said that this is wrong, that is wrong. It is only relativity, and it depends upon the. There is a person who is crying for sugar for milk, and there is a person who is crying for salt for their kanji. So both are crying, but both are not same. With these words, thank you very much.
That's why Rajgopalan sir, I said that Shani is not bad.
Yes.
Shani is also good. So people are afraid of Shani, and they think, oh, Shani battindi naku. No.
Thank you.
Shani puts you on the right path. Shani always puts you on the right path. I always say, unsteered vehicle getting into a steered direction is called as Shani's action.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for the sharing of the information. And if anybody has any more questions, you please send a WhatsApp message to Murthy garu and also Rajagopalan garu, so that you will get the answer. And if required, you may contact them on phone also. They are available for you to discuss little more. But Prasad garu is waiting. Let me see. Don't ask, the question which is taking long time. I'll unmute you, Prasad garu.
Namaskaram, Babu garu and Mahodaya, Rao garu, for this opportunity and this fantastic presentation. So I'll keep it very short and to the point. It's definitely linked to this. I have zero knowledge of astrology, just fascination and admiration for those who got the hang of this. So it relates to something that the speaker actually mentioned during his discourse, that our calendar is only 300 days. It's not 365 days, which is what the Gregorian English calendar is. So based on that, are we saying that we are out of sync every year by 65 days? And the reason I'm asking that is, I know that our Hindu calendar is also lunar. It's not based on solar calendar. But somehow, magically, except for 1 or 2 weeks, our Shravana Masam, or whether it is Kartika Masam, they are always falling roughly, like Shravana Masam is August, September, Kartika Masam is October, November. That is why we have Deepavali, Dasara before that, etc. So is there some correction happening by way of Adhika Masam or something like that? I know that this wasn't meant to synchronize with Gregorian calendar, because ours is much more ancient than that. So how does that happen? Are we saying that because the Jyotisha and our Hindu lunar calendar, they can't be different. They've got to be from the same base lunar calendar that we all follow as Hindus. So is there any insights on that from the speaker or from Rajagopalan garu, who also gave a beautiful summary, supplementary info? Thank you.
Okay, Rajagopalan garu.
One of my friends has asked a very right question. So just like I will give you in a simple analogy, because all of us have studied a little bit of mathematics and science in our school days or something. You know about MKS system and FPS system, isn't it? So good olden days, we are following the FPS system. Now we are calling the MKS system, that is meter, kilometer, and all those things. No. So in our astrology also, if you go through the literature, and as per the different shastras also, we have a different Kala Ganana. They call it as Kala Ganana is nothing but a computational technique for different time period. So Brahma Kala Ganana is different. Brahaspati Kala Ganana is different. Our day to day is this different. Then Rashtriya Kala Ganana is also different, which we follow in our system. But the Gregorian calendar is totally different. But as you are asked, one thing is simple, because it requires a full-fledged, at least 3-4 classes has to be taken, then only it can be explained what is Kala Ganana. Only one simple way I'll tell you, our Vedic years repeats every 60 years. 60 years cycle is ours. Prabhava. See, if you see, open any of the Panchanga, let it from south, north, east, west or something, 60 years is the cycle period. And another thing, since we are forced to put on to the Gregorian calendar for comparison and other things, we are feeling the difference of these locations. Otherwise, present day, if you go by the Vakya Panchang means if you can see the Sarpa Panchang of Srirangam, or if you go to Kanchipuram or southern side, whatever it is there are so many things, so many persons are bringing it out. The positions, what they show primarily of the major planets, which are almost, it will be sitting correctly, it will come. Only when we go to that D1 is called as our birth chart, the D1. For your information, Murthy Garu may be able to understand, and some of you may be understand who knows astrology. So the D1 will be very well, but when you come to the Navamsha, that is D9 we call, there is always a departure will come. In the D1, many a times we see one planet, Surya is placed here, Shani is here. But generally, the play where it has been positioned, whether at what degree, what angle of inclination it is viewing viewing point, that is 7, 9 and all those different angles are there. So question what you are asked is that the rotational velocity, being a scientist, I will say, being a nuclear scientist, I will say that I am referring what I follow, I will tell you. For all the religious purpose, Graha Pravesham or any of the temple job or any of the big jobs, you can totally follow. What I experienced is that Vakya Panchang is giving a perfect, very good match. For individuals' predictions, our life prediction, career, profession, marriage, child, and all those things, what I found is that the Kanida Panchang is giving much better result. And Kanida Panchang also, again, we have to recalculate with respect to ephemeris calculation. Ephemeris calculation is the data which is being supplied by the NASA. Very frequently it is being given. And Birla Planetarium, Calcutta is the proprietary owner of this one in India. And to get the data from them, we have to pay money. As an astrologer, we have to pay money and we can get it. When you use those planetary position and then put on your computation and exactly calculate, then you get the correct picture of prediction. So the Ganana, Kala Ganana means the calendar or the computation. Ganana means computation. It is not uniform because there are n number of units. Brahma Murtha, Brahma calendar, this one years are different. Prajapati is different. Brahaspati is different. Hours are different. Then Islamic is different. Christian era. We are trying to overlap. Because of that only, the 365 days plus 1/4 extra which comes, that we put it in the leap year and go ahead. The person born on 29th of February is a big issue for Western person. But not for us. For Vedic astrology, we don't have that problem at all. So we go by the sunrise to sunset. When it is born, if it is sunrise time, then that particular, if it is a Surya, today is a Sunday. Sunday means that is called as Ravivara. Ravivara means the present first Surya Uday when it starts. The first thing will be in the Ravi. Then completely it goes on moving. So the thing is that we have to study with respect to Vedic astrology in case we want to interpret our thing. So I will not say this method is good, that method is good, this Panchang is good, that Panchang is, because it will be inviting problem. But when you are comparing a boy and girl's horoscope, please follow only one single Panchang. If the boy's horoscope is calculated on the Vakya Panchang or any Panchang, you make the boys also and girls also in the same one, then compare. If you compare Kanida Panchang with Vakya Panchang, there will be a complete mismatch will come and you will be putting yourself in trouble and the predictions will go completely astray. Calculation, timing, units, measurement, Nadi, Nadiga, and all those things vary as per the different methods of calculation. So on your astrological chart prepared by your grandfather or your mother, whosoever is prepared in your house for your birth time, you please refer that one. There they would have mentioned clearly in which Shastra they have mentioned. So accordingly, you practice it. So there are n number of variations are there. We should not measure one with the other one because they will be misjudging it. And off late, as being a computational computer science engineer as well as a nuclear scientist, I am following ephemeris calculation, which is getting very well, especially where there is a sandhi is taking place between the different what you call nakshatra and rasi. At the same time, also yoga also. At the same time of birth, 12 o'clock, somebody is born. Somebody says that the baby is born at 12 o'clock midnight in Bombay, gone case. Because Bombay is a linear, vertical line. So the latitude goes on changes minutes wise. Same thing with Chennai also. It is a vertical line. So the latitude, Chennai means you cannot take it as one only. So all these things we have to take care of, and we will get a very good prediction. And the prediction, all said and done, the prediction will be almost 75 to 80% only. 20% is destined, because if we can predict everything, then we would have become Brahma, and it is just impossible. So always
Thank you,
believe
sir.
in God, Brahma,
Hariom,
pray the Almighty.
Rajagopalanji,
You go to your
Rajagopalanji.
family deity, pray Him, everything will be nullified. Okay, with these words, I thank you once.
Thank you, sir.
I hope
And,
the question by Prasad Garu is
answered. Is answered.
but probably it needs a lot of knowledge to understand that way. But simply, I will tell you, Prasad ji, your question is how the Adhika Masam is coming, whether any philosophy is there behind it. That is what I understand on this question. See, Adhika Masam is based on the act. See, our astrologers, our theories are well documented, well knowledgeable on the position of the actual position of the movement of the planets in the universe. So they have got a logical theory how the planets are moving, when they are going back, when they are going front. Based on that, what is the position of moon, what is the position of axis of moon, star, and earth, and this axis position, and all these things. Based on that, they fix up the adjustment of the time and give the Adhika Masam. 1 month, 1 year comes, one cycle comes. In one cycle, it comes Chaitra Masam, in another cycle comes Shravana Masam, in another cycle comes some Pushya Masam. Something like that, Adhika Masam will come. It's not every year, 1 Masam only will not come Adhika Masam.
Okay.
Based on that logic, Rutam, that Rutam is there. The particular movement of every planet is studied, and that is well documented. Based on that only, the Adhika Masam is fixed, and the Adhika Masam is not just adjusting like that blindly.
PK Sharma Garu is, waiting.
Yes.
He's been, from the beginning he's waiting.
So that is the question, answer for the Adhika Masam, and that is the question. That is the answer for that. How the adjustment is done between Western calendar and this calendar.
But your question is answered, PK Sharma Garu. You want to ask again? Okay.
Sharma, any question?
Nadi and all you ask. But ask a very short question.
My question is, how is it that Nadi Jyotish tells everything from a patra just by a thumbprint? So they tell my name, my father's name, mother's name, my wife's name, how many children, how many brothers and sisters, what is my profession.
Okay, understood. Anybody wants to answer that question?
That is based on Daivagna. That is Daivagnaha. This is Kalak Brahmakar, Kalgnanam, Nato Dharmas. How these people have told, what is the logic they have got? It's all a supernatural power they have got, and they spoke. Based on that also was written. Nadi Jyotish also was written.
Okay, Rajagopalan Garu, if you want to be short, you can answer this.
I don't know, because 29 people from my family have got accurately their names, wife name, profession, etc. How is it possible? How is it possible?
That is Daivabalam. That is Daivabalam.
No, they say it is where Agastya Rishi has written the Patra 5,000 years ago. Very, very strange.
Okay, Rajagopalan Garu.
Mute. Hello, could you hear me?
Yeah. Be short, sir.
It's very short. the basic concept. Could you hear me? Basic concept of Nadi astrology is Nadi what we call. There are more around major 150 Nadis in a sign or Rashi. One sign is equal to 30 degrees of the zodiac, 360 degrees. This everybody knows. So 360 degree, there are 150 Nadis for one sign. So one sign of 30 degree has got 150 Nadis, and 12 signs of the zodiac are grouped into three categories, that is called as Charanadi, Stiranadi, and this Drishabhava, means that is duality, movable, fixed, and this one. So what happens, a person, as our Murthy garu also said, some referred, there are called as Charanadi and Stiranadi and all those things. The earth and other things, they become the Stira and other thing. Whereas the other one, the airy sign and all those things become the Charanadi and all those things. So based on these one, as per your karma, you will be born. And one thing what I would like to say here, which even Professor Murthy also will be agreeing, that 99% of a persons born in one family, means for example, grandfather, father, son, grandson, if you see, majority of will have a lot of overlaps, almost nearer. And they say the baby is born between the nakshatra of the wife and the husband. These are also, they say, these are all called as a karma philosophy. And that you can identify between the from the fifth position of the your lagna and all those things. And these things, as what you are asked about the multiple questions of how they can identify name, culture, and everything. For that, it is a very detailed aspect. It has to be discussed. So
he will
it
directly
will take a
call you.
lot of time to explain, but
Rajagopal
we
garu.
can talk about this one later on. Okay.
You have given
Okay.
your number on the chat box.
Anybody interested, you can talk.
Yeah.
Later on.
PK
Thanks.
Sharma garu, please call him and discuss more on this. Okay. Okay, can mute yourself. Okay, thank you so much. Now let us thank Murthy garu for initiating this very interesting topic. He has taken it, as his as his passion to study this subject, and he has been giving lectures on this, and we'll look for some more lectures from him. Thank you so much, sir. Now let us go for Prarthana. Jayashree garu, are you there? Okay. Please do Prarthana.
Yes. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यश्च शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Thank you, Jayashree garu. Thank you so much. Now let us go for Janaganamana. I request all of you to stand up. Before that, let me thank Rajagopalan garu and all participants who have asked the questions and involved in the discussion. Thank you so much. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल वंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशिष मागे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद। Thank you all again, once again.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుగారు.